Üdvözlök mindenkit! Kujbus Norbert vagyok, jelenleg az IT Debrecen Egyesületet képviselem itt az előadás során. Készültünk egy pár szlájddal kicsit bemutatni a debreceni piacot. Egy gyors közvéleménykutatás. Ki az, aki magyarul preferálja ezt az előadást? Ki az, aki angolul? Magyar?
Angolul kérdez meg.
Prefers to have this presentation in English. Please. 1, 2. Okay. A többiek, hogyha angolul van, érteni fogjátok? Okay. So let's get started. We will do it in English, okay? The slides is in English as well. If anyone has a question in Hungarian, please don't hesitate, ask it, okay? And we will translate it during the time. All right. So the title, Future of IT Positions and the evolution of these IT positions in the near future. Who is working in IT already and following the current news or the news in the past, I don't know, 1 year, we have already recognized some big revolutionary changes. Okay, I'm not sure if you who are studying here in the university know about these news. You assume that if you are reading the same news, then you got scary. Okay, and I want to give you some kind of insight. I want to say that don't be scary. The future of IT is even bigger than it was 10 years ago. Okay, it will be a little bit different. If you read the first slide, and there is a quite interesting sentences from someone in a discussion that you know, senior and junior position, there are some conversations. Usually the fresh grads think that, oh, I'm having much better knowledge than you who just graduated 30 years ago, right? I'm smarter than you. Don't want me push back and say that, okay, this is not working. You need to think about the things. I'm having more energy. I just want to go do, right? But sometimes it's not the case, okay? But it really mean anything about who is smarter. What do you think? If someone was able to fix the car on the road 30 years ago, right, and even just adjusting the valves in the car or in the engine, right, that was necessary that time, right? Otherwise, you will not reach your destination, maybe, right? So my parents were able to fix their cars on the road when they stopped, okay, because it was necessary. But the quality of the cars or maybe the service around that was not that fine that it is today. Today, you don't need to care about this. The cars are prepared to visit the car service once in a year. They will fix everything at that time. And during the annual car service process, you don't need to, right? It will go. You don't need to prepare yourself for this kind of skills. Okay, why it is important and how it will connect to the other things that we will discuss through this time. And I'm sorry, this is the only slide that have Hungarian words. On the left side, you can see so many scary news from the past 6 months. Okay, 120,000 IT positions just gone. There were big layoffs, especially in the western area of the world. Okay, they easily hire people and they easily remove people from the companies. Okay, they started to discuss. In Hungary, the IT managers, right, the IT owners, that if this kind of trend started in the West, then when it will arrive to Hungary, because this is some kind of wave that is going through the world, and how should we prepare for that? What should we do in our IT organizations, right? Just to save us from sending out or laying off, I don't know, 50% of the IT stuff. The good thing is that we don't need to prepare it for this right now. The reason why they laid off these so many people in the Western world, because the strategy was different. Our strategy is much different here in Eastern Europe than their strategy there. Okay? And of course, the scale of the companies are much different as well. The other side that is on the top, 20,000 IT positions are missing here from Hungary. That was a research in 2018 that is available on the internet, and that was one of the takeaway of this research out of the 90 other takeaways. Okay, and the rules these were circulating back and forth. This was the most important one that everyone wanted to show. Okay, so these are the positions that probably making someone scary. On the other side, everything is about the AI. Okay, AI came. This is fantastic. The other side, AI came, and this is the strangest things in the world. Okay, because this will kill off the role and reason of the IT positions, because they will make programs on behalf of the programmers. There are still 20 years, and then the programmers, developers won't have any job, right? These are on the other side. Okay, we have to understand it. What does it mean? And in the background, think about the first page where you had this screen, and try to put it into context. Again, the same. Okay, just don't think that these are coming from me only. It is not my ideas. At the end of the presentation, you will see all the references. These are coming from these kind of news from LinkedIn and from blog.hu. This is some kind of developer site. I'm not sure how can do read this page. And let's take a look at what does it mean, what kind of skills were required in the past. Okay, past means not even when your parents were started the life, but even your grandpa, okay, started. Because I think this is the somewhere in the 70s or 80s, okay, when someone started the IT position and the computer science, right? They had to make very professional in programming languages that you even didn't hear about, right? Maybe C, right? You know C, right? C++, right? The main goal of them was to be very professional in these programming languages, okay? And that was enough, okay? That was enough, because that time, that was the requirement. This is today's landscape of an IT developer, one single IT developer, okay? It's not enough if you know one of these, okay? Because then probably it will be very fantastic to releasing code to some kind of environment, but who will write it, right? Who will test it? If you like to understand the entire life cycle of an application development, you'd like to be a full stack developer and start your own entrepreneurship program, okay, and develop an application end to end, then probably you will touch most of these technologies. You don't need to check it one by one, okay, because I just wanted to show you that. And also, well, in the past, when or parents or grandparents develop their own applications. That was a science, okay? They had to take care of the bits, not even the bytes, the bits, okay? Maybe you heard about some kind of IT historical kind of classes, something that there were 8-bit kind of constraints, 16-bit, 32-bit kind of constraints. So the application had to fit into that kind of memory that was available at that time. Okay, and the speed as well was really important, because when I started my career, the internet speed was about 56 kilobits per second. Okay, so that time, any kind of website like index.hu or ego.hu has to be able to load as well as today. Okay, with all the images, with everything. Today it's not a science. Okay, today we don't care about the size. We have unlimited number of sizes. Okay, we have something is slow, then we will find something, some kind of other extensions that will make it okay. Okay, we are not going to rebuild the complete application again just to make it very very fast, because right now it's more important to be able to deliver the business requirements. Okay, the application should start delivering business value rather than just being there and able to run on a machine. This is another representation of this. Okay, everywhere in GitHub you can search for the front-end developer kind of roadmap, back-end developer kind of roadmap, back-end developer kind of roadmap. What does it mean? You will start up there, and you have to go through, and each of these small boxes, if you will check the presentation, you can zoom in, some kind of big area that you have to learn. Okay, and this is the backend developer roadmap. That very small box on that is where you choose your language. Choose your language of C, choose your language of Java, choose your language of Python, and everything. Okay. So language, which language you will use, right? That you can see a very small part of this whole career. Okay, you have to know much more besides the language itself. And I just zoom in. If you choose there one small yellow box, that means another roadmap that is that long. Okay, that is especially right now, I think, the Python developer kind of roadmap. In order to be able to be a senior Python developer, you have to know all of these areas, and then you go back and continue your roadmap to be able to release the code, to be able to work on, cloud systems and also testing the code. Those are additional other boxes here in the left side. Okay. And do you think these kind of requirements that right now we have for the IT professionals is even comparable, the knowledge of those who had to use this kind of code? Right? I think it's obvious that these are much different. Within 30 years, the life has changed, and we had to adapt. We had to change our skills. Quite often we are going into a discussion that what is more important. When juniors, fresh grads are going to apply to positions in an IT company, or even before that, they ask me that, what will be the requirement? What should I know if I'm learning very well, I don't know, TypeScript development, Java development, whatever, that will be enough for applying to your position. And I usually tell them that it's an interesting question, right? And it's not obvious to answer, because this is a skill or knowledge kind of question, or even more competency versus knowledge kind of question. If you have a knowledge, like you know how to develop in Java or JavaScript or something like that, then you will be very similar to those who were developing the codes 30, 40 years ago. Right? They exactly knew the deep of a programming language, right? How to use it. But as I showed you, that is not enough. Right? With knowing something very deeply, that's good. That's very good, right? That's fantastic. And you can get a job quickly, right? Because you will be immediately be able to produce code. You know, you will be developer after 10 years, 20 years, 30 years as well, right? Because fortunately, we are living we are having a quite long life right now. And then your competencies, your base competencies will be much more important, okay? How you will be able to learn new programming languages, new technologies, and how to adapt to those kind of things will be even more important, okay? Because remember, when you come to me as a fresh grad and applying to a position, I guarantee you, you will not know everything on this slide. You will know something on this slide. But what I will look for, how you will be able to learn all of the other small boxes on this previous slide. Okay, it's good if you have a good knowledge right now about very specific things, but you have to be able to learn and adapt the other things. On the other side, okay, this is one profile. Okay, where you have knowledge, but you don't have competencies. You have competencies, but you don't have knowledge. Either way is not good, but the future that is ahead of you will be a little bit different. I see some eyes. Maybe it's not that clear what I want to hear. Do you have any question so far? No. Okay. So usually the question, when I'm having this question with my son, who is on the university on another major, but how can I prepare for the life? You know, it's quite easy. So, as your parents, right? So, mid school, university, this is the standard. Nowadays, in the past 10 years, there were Bootcamp, project life experience. These are the things that can help you. What will be the future? Because this evolution will not stop, right? Something will be there in 20 years from now, 30 years from now as well, right? When you will be some kind of senior developers, whether it will be AI, I don't know. There is a good candidate right now, but we did have many good candidates in the past 30 years as well, and some of them became successful and some of them just died. Mid school, university will give you the competencies, okay? This is a long story. You cannot really build your competencies in a training, okay? That's not enough. And then here you can start building your knowledge, the specific knowledge of these small boxes and this yellow slide. Okay. Bootcamps can mean many things. Okay, even IT companies in Debrecen providing specific bootcamps, tech academies, and some kind of trainings, right? I don't need to give you names because it's quite well known by you. Even my company providing 2 times in a year these kind of boot camps where you can learn specific things like how to become a software developer in front-end area or in back-end area or in, I don't know, data area. So there are boot camps specialized for that and quite expensive, and finally they guarantee you some kind of job. But this is good, okay? This is necessary, and this will come anyway. If you apply to any companies in the first 6 months, they will give you the knowledge, okay? They will train you the knowledge if you have the competencies to learn. Otherwise, it will be difficult, okay? And then you will have lots of projects in the next 5 years, 10 years, okay? And on these projects, you will start understanding what these guys told you here, and try to prepare you for the life and here, okay? Because you can learn a big book of Java, right? But that is not the real life experience. That will come after. So once you have a good knowledge, you build a good knowledge, you can start a good knowledge and being a quite good developer within, I don't know, 5 years. But after 5 years, 7 years, right? There will be the entire life behind you, ahead of you. Right? So the life will give you the experience. Well, you will need to use the combination of these two each time to adapt and learn the new technologies, right? AI is coming right now. My university was not able to prepare me for AI, right? And also, these previous years of projects were not able to prepare me for the new things that is coming, right? That was unknown. But I believe that the competencies and the experience and the knowledge that I gained in the past, I don't know, I don't want to give you a big number, let's say 10 years, okay? That will be enough to start and adapt and integrate the new AI things to your IT applications. So the future of adopting AI, that will be the near future for sure. Okay, there are some ideas here that I copied for you. Microsoft is building Copilot, an AI solution to the Visual Studio. That will help you to generate code faster. Google would like to do with his AI solution the same. Right? IT leaders are also anticipating that, oh, that's good, AI is coming, then it means that time to market will be even faster, right? And we will be able to deliver the project sooner because some of the area will be automated by these AI solutions. Okay, we don't know, but this is the hope. When I talk with developers, right, usually then they also have some doubts, of course, and also have some ideas how they will be able to use AI. One of the things that each developer hates, right, that repeating the same things over and over again. I have a colleague here, a former colleague here. We worked on in a company, and each time we were developing new and new e-commerce sites to our clients. Right? And after a year or 2 years, I was really hating that each time we had to start it from scratch, right? And the first months of this development was just copy and pasting from the previous project, already known and necessary things, because there wasn't anything new, right? And I said that, okay, I don't want to do it for 10 years. It's ridiculous. And of course, the IT guys are coming with some kind of automations all the time, okay? First, that time, I just automating these copy and paste kind of things with a script, okay? Or then develop some kind of other framework that was making it to me. Right? And we are expecting that AI will do the same. So this boilerplate code that is not giving any kind of value and repeating over and over again, AI will automate it to us. That's good. In this case, we will be able to focus on the, on the more intellectual part of the development and using our own minds. But even if you have very good tools and libraries and frameworks and maybe in the future AI, there's a nice phrase from Sharaf Hassan, who is the dean of the Budapest University of Computer Science, I think, who said that a rossz szoftverfejlesztők ellen nincs recept. This is for the Hungarians, okay? So nothing will save you from the bad developers. That means you can use AI in a right way, and you can use AI in a bad way as well. Depending on your competencies and depending on your knowledge, okay? But if we started to talk about this AI kind of things and how it will be integrated to your development life cycle, there are lots of uncertain and unanswered problems still. These are categorized mainly in these specific areas. Maybe you heard some news that some countries would like to, and some companies would like to deny using these AI applications right now because these are leaking information today, right? Or even a closer to us kind of example from this guy who was the contributor to Stack Overflow, or the top 2%, right? And he decided and announced that he will stop contributing and answering questions on the Stack Overflow. And the reason is because in the past, even if you didn't search in the Stack Overflow, but you searched in Google, Google indexed that kind of Stack Overflow answer and provided you in the search result. But the kudo was given to this guy, to the originator, right? Right now, if you make the same question in ChatGPT, it will use the same kind of knowledge that this guy built in the Stack Overflow. It will not really give you any reference that, hey, is it Peter Nixon, right? That this is the answer. It is presenting you as his own very fancy intellectual answer to your question. That is not true. ChatGPT cannot really do anything by himself or itself, right? He can use only the knowledge that he can find in the internet, but not really giving you the references that, yes, this guy here just told about that, and then this is the answer. And there are similar problems with leaking information. If you have a big international company, the stock exchange programs, right? You have some certain regulations when you can announce information. And before that milestones, you cannot really share information with anyone, right? But if ChatGPT will start sharing this information, then you are getting big bans maybe from the government. And I also have the same question from ChatGPT, right? That what do you think? What will be the future of our IT positions 10 years from now? You can read it later, right? But the story is the same. ChatGPT or any kind of AI solution in the future will help the developers as a tool, okay, to fasten the development things. But it cannot really be that clever, okay, to come up with a very nice solution for a problem. It can just build the dots that he found on the internet. But you will be those who can figure out the solution for a business problem. You will be the one who will be able to understand what the client wants, right? And how can I help them? And what can I develop them to be able to, generate some value there? These are the references. And again, if we look about that, what was in the original site, right? Different time requires different kind of competencies, right? Different time will have different kind of challenges. Right now, we don't have the same challenges that our grandpas was somewhere in the past, right? We have different challenges right now. We have different tool set right now. And the question is how we will use these tool sets to survive and make some value for the future. Okay, I finished. Any questions? Do you think that the IT role will exist 10 years from now? Did I convince you that, okay, don't go home and finish the university because it will not be something that is useful in the future? I hope so, okay? No questions? This is a very safe position here because we usually don't get any question from the audience. So you are not really challenging us. And I encourage you that in the future, please prepare with some questions, okay? And even in the classes, challenge your professors, okay? Because that is how the new things will come up and you will understand the old things. Thank you very much. Have a nice day. Enjoy the other presentations.